Everyone. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I think I'm here. I think I am here. I don't see anybody here, so I will wait until I see somebody say hello. Hello, hello. Anybody here? Just want to make sure people can hear me and see me and there's no problems before I start talking anything. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Candace. Everything okay? I have got some junk journals out. Jane, Jackie, Paper Kitty. Hello. Hello. Kathleen, Susan, Ms. Deidre. Hello. Are you new here? We always like to see new names, new faces. We do. We like that. Getting your hair done. Paper Kitty's getting her hair done. Just dropping in for a few to say hello. Hello, Missy. Hello, Paper Kitty. Getting her hair done. Don't get my hair done very often. I get it cut, trimmed. The last trim I had was horrible. Horrible. I don't do it very often, so. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Thank you, Mrs. Deidre. You're new to the lives? Hello, Lorianne. Hello, hello. So hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I am now just streaming on Tuesdays. I need a bit of a break. My mind has been taking a vacation. I have not been very creative. I have not been able to do anything. I think the taxes and my sketchbook project, that deadline just really zapped me. Really, really zapped me. And so my creative brain has left me, it's taken a vacation. And this happens to me occasionally. There's nothing to be concerned about. It happens to me. I just need to get away from doing stuff for a little bit, because if I force myself to do something, it takes longer to snap back. I have figured this out in later years, or since it first started for me. So I'm not worried about it. Not concerned. I'm not going to use a brand new one. I think I've got one started over here somewhere. Yes, I do. So I have tried to sit down and do some things. I try every day. And usually what happens is I start just moving stuff around, looking at stuff. Usually something will inspire me. Usually I will find something to glue down or, something. And it just has not been happening here lately. So I need a cloth to smooch that down. Get to the edge here. So I try every day, and I even tried, since being creative didn't really work, I thought, you know what? It is spring. It is time for spring cleaning. So maybe I should continue on doing something with this room. So I have tried to do that too. And that really just kind of nothing happened. Let's just put it that way. Nothing happened. I would move things around and then move them back. And I've lost a few things because I was moving stuff and I don't know where I put some of my images, a lot of my images. I put them someplace so that I'd find them and could not find them today. Couldn't find them anywhere. But like I said, I am not concerned. It will come back. So it will come back. And I have to admit, since it wasn't working, I do make myself try to sit down in my room here and do something, pull something out, hoping to get inspired, hoping to get creative, just to do something. And I spend a few hours. Sometimes I'm just moving stuff around, losing stuff, and that's kind of cool. That's really cool. I think that needs to go on the top, though. I need to trim that. If you don't have a... So Candace says that she's more creative with a deadline. Isn't that interesting? If you don't have a time frame, it never gets done. I am absolutely the opposite. I get a deadline going, and my mind just kind of freezes, and when I start doing things, it looks forced. It looks like I wasn't having any fun, which usually with a deadline, I'm not. So it just doesn't work for me. So I try to get my deadlines done way, way, way in advance so I don't feel a deadline. I think I need some book page over here. So I grabbed, some of this stuff. Some of this stuff here, some of these baskets and stuff are leftover bits from my sketchbook project. I have a bunch of stuff left and thought that would be really cool over here. I like that. And so obviously that project is done and gone. So now I've got to figure out where I need to put all this stuff back into my fish bits and such. But I thought, why don't I just go through some of this and use it up? I did bring out this junk journal that I have been working on for a little bit. I started working on this. I made this before I started doing the sketchbook project. I don't remember exactly when I started it, but it's been a little bit. Ooh, this blue goes with that blue. I like that. I'm trying to cover up this junk journal. Okay, so here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. Oh, here's a little piece of blue that might be cool too, but it might be too busy. I kind of like this teal color most of all. Some of this stuff is my tiny sketchbook leftovers. Isn't that funny? Here's my thoughts. I wasn't looking at chat, so people have come in and I didn't say hello. So hello, Debbie. I don't know if I said hello to you, Jackie. I think I did. Thanks everyone for stopping by and being with me and all that good stuff. Before I get into what I'm doing today, here, let me do some announcements while I kind of mess around with this page. The get together is Saturday, coming up this Saturday. That's a cool little piece. I still have a few places open. A couple places, 2 or 3, I think. It's escaping me exactly what the number is. But if you would like to go, please do message me before you go, just to make sure that 5 people don't show up. Just to make sure we don't get kicked out of the room. We don't want to be kicked out. I don't want to be kicked out. This is really cool, but it's too small. I think that one's too small too. Ooh, here's some tissue paper. The only thing about tissue paper is you can see all the stuff underneath, and I'm trying to cover all the stuff underneath. Anyway, so the get-together is on Saturday. It is free for everyone who wants to be there. There is no charge for that, in case anybody was worried about that. We do some workshops. We have some fun. We show what we've been doing, our projects and such. If you want to show what you're doing, you don't have to. But I enjoy seeing what other people are up to. Tina has this wonderful art journal that she works on, and I just love seeing it every month. She doesn't bring it every month, but I enjoy seeing it. That's upside down. I do enjoy seeing it. So that's that. Hi, Becky. Hi, Jay. Watching while at work. Hi, Linda. Hello, hello. So get together. There was another announcement I needed to make, and it has escaped my brain now. I think I need some more blue on this page. Do I have anything bluish? That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that without the white edges. There was another announcement, and I don't remember. Oh, I know what it is. I have stopped. Hi, Vicki. Do you know what I do for supplies? And I need to do the video on it. I use a diaper bag. It holds everything I need for these workshops and such. It holds everything. And I don't have to pack it and repack it. I know that I've got everything with me at all times. So maybe you need something like that. Nice, lots of little pockets and stuff. All right. And so Ooh, that'll be kind of nice. I like that. I still need it to be a little larger to cover up all this. I do not like, and I've said this, I love junk journals. I love working in junk journals. I enjoy junk journals. Um, but I do not like, I have discovered this, I do not like using junk mail for junk journals. I like using stuff up. I like the fact that I'm not throwing things in the garbage. It's not going to a landfill. But I do not like the fact that I have to cover all this stuff up. I don't want to see it. So I'm forced to cover the entire page with stuff. I've been working in this junk journal for a little bit. I've done a few of the pages, but it is definitely a very busy junk journal. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to finish it. I'm not going to continue working in it. I am. But I have found that I do not love all the busyness of the pages. I don't like it. And I am thinking, too, in the mood that I am in, having a difficult time sitting down to do something, I think also that I am going to just leave this stuff in here and I'm going to go on to something else. I like these little bits, but I'm just not feeling it. And I'd like to go on to something else. So I will put this aside and work on it later. This is the signature that I worked on the last time I worked on this book. It's coming along, a lot of stuff. It's happening. And I still haven't figured out what to do with this page. Of course, I haven't really been working on it either, so another time. I'm thinking that in the mood that I'm in right now, I think maybe that the pages are too large. There's too much of a commitment. There's too much stuff that I have to cover up. And so I got to thinking today about, well, I pulled out some other things. I'm going to put this one away for now. I pulled out some other books that I have been working on. This is the little Oregon Passport to Bounty. It came in the Oregon brochures that I ordered a couple of years ago. And I took it apart. I took the staples out of it, took it apart, and added some other book pages into it. Let's see if we can get it focused. And put the old pages back. This was one of those, it was an advertisement for restaurants and breweries and wineries and that kind of stuff. You had stickers for all the places that they wanted you to visit. So, Mrs. Gigi. So it was one of those cute little sizes and not very large. And I thought, I'll just add some other little pages to it. It is only one signature. I did sew it together with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And it's got a lot of pages. Now, that's all I did. I just pulled it apart, added some pages. Some of them have flip outs here. And then I didn't get any further in this, so I thought maybe I'll do something with that. What I really want to do is some kind of a junk journal that's smaller. And this one I had put together a couple weeks ago, trying to get myself motivated. Still not real motivated to use it. This is a bunch of scrapbook paper, some drawing paper. There's a puzzle page, color book paper, some different weights. So all the pages are not exactly the same thickness. The cover is a file folder, and I just put some pages together and sewed them together into a signature. I'm not real inspired to use this quite yet. But my mind is telling me that I think that I want to do is make a small junk journal. So what I did before the stream is I cut some different papers and notice that they don't have a lot of stuff on them. So it's a junk journal style. Hi, Dawn, Emma. It's just a junk journal style that I'm thinking of. I don't really want to be forced to cover the entire page. So I did just pull out a bunch of pads of paper, copy paper, drawing paper, sketchbook paper. What else is in here? There's nothing real thick. I think there's some cardstock. These are pretty thick. I'm not sure. They must be Bixpedia paper. Here's a book page. And I just cut various widths of them. They're not exactly all the same height, but they're no more than 4 inches tall. And I would like to make just a small little mini junk journal just to have a little mini one. And I'm going to try to not put very many pages in it, so it's a very small project. Okay? That's my thought. And I've got way too many pages here, so maybe I will have a couple of books here. So when I was getting out all the papers, what I really wanted to do was get out a bunch of different types of papers to do something with. This little piece of cardboard came out of the postage stamps that I bought at Hobby Lobby. It's a very bendy little piece of cardboard. I really like the texture. I like that. And I was thinking that this would be a cool little cover with a flap. But it still seems a little large. I do think I'm going to make something with it. So I was pulling out papers, different types of papers, and I tore them so that they would fit in here. Some book pages, and I found some other bits of pages that I've taken out of blank books. These I was doing stuff with, and this has been, at least 5 years ago that I did this. And just had these pieces of paper sitting out. I love this. I don't know what it is about this. I don't know what it is. I absolutely love it. And it is folded in half to do something with. And I noticed that it was, oops, sorry. My cord is still hanging down. It's exactly the height it needs to be for this book. It may need to be trimmed down just a tad, but wow. I don't know why I love this so much. So these are little bits that I had done years ago and kind of just really liked the looks of and didn't do anything with. So I'm thinking putting these kinds of papers together, things that I don't know if it's the circles that I really like. I really am drawn to these words just put on there randomly. I don't know. I really just like the words. I just don't know. I'm going to trim it down just a tad so it goes into the book a little bit nicer. I don't know, but I like it. I like it. I like that they're different kinds of papers. This is kind of a handmade texture paper. It came out of a blank journal. I didn't really like it in the blank journal. I had a hard time gluing things to it. It doesn't take glue very well, but I like the feel of it. So I thought, maybe I should just put a few of these pages in together. And here's another one that's a piece of junk that I played around with and then tore it out of the book. And so I've had it for a very long time. A piece of brown paper that came off a frame. So I'm thinking that I'm going to put these pages together in this and make just a little junk journal, but it still seems that it's a little bit large for what I really, really want. So I'm going back to these strips. And the reason I've got these long strips is so that I can do tip outs. And I'm going to be wasteful. I just want a little junk journal. And I think what I want is something about that width. So let me get my little paper trimmer out here. Which way is up? My mind is just not. It's just not. That's all there is to it. It's just not. So I do like this size. I do like to make books. It is very relaxing for me. Yes, I am addicted to making books. Yes. Sometimes I just want to make a book just to make a book, not necessarily to start a new project. I've got quite a few books started that don't have anything in them, and that's fine with me. So how wide is that? Maybe we should make it 3 inches wide. Just to make it easier to measure. So it's 3 inches by about 4 inches. Maybe just a tad, a smidgen, itsy bitsy bit larger than 4 inches. But I think this would be a fun, cute little size to do some junk journals with. And let me use my bone folder so the crease is all nice and creased and you know. So let me put together some pages. I am not going to put pockets in this. I might just keep these larger pieces of paper. I might stamp on them or something. Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't noticed that before. This is one piece of paper, but the grid on this side is larger than the grid on that side. How cool. I would not have noticed it if I hadn't been making a book. Very, very interesting. So I want some tip outs. I'm not going to make pockets in this. It's going to be more of a visual journal. I think this is watercolor paper. This is really stiff, and I don't necessarily want pages that stiff in this book. So those are going to the other side. Ooh, let's use this. I want a tip out over here, so I don't want it any more than 3 inches. Where's my 3-inch mark? That would be it. Right there. Uh-oh. That was bigger than 3 inches. How do I fix that? Let's just trim that off a little bit. See, my mind is just not thinking correctly. Don't know what is up with that. Really don't. I'm just going to have an extra fold in this one. I'll cover it up with something. I'll cover it up. I'll cover up my mistake. All right. So then I've got a little tip out that is less than 3 inches. That was hard for my brain in the state that I am in. All right, let's see if we've got these very, very long ones. You know what I'll do? Let me fold it in half. And then fold in. And that is almost exactly 3 inches. Very interesting. Actually, let me just trim a little bit of that off on the other side so it goes well into the 3-inch mark. And then I'll just have tip outs for that page like that. I don't want too many tip outs though. And I did want some pages that were a little bit more narrow. So let me make that one just a little bit more narrow. So my pages are different sizes. You know I love my different size pages. So how is everyone today? I hope everybody is doing well. I don't want too many pages in here. I should come up with a number before I get going. Um, 7 pages for a signature. Does that sound about right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to chop that one off just a tad bit. That is 7. All right. I'll put these aside in case I want to make more signatures for this book. All right, throw that stuff in the garbage. Yes, she does throw things away sometimes. Not very often. And my thread, and put my pages together so I can see what is going on. Quite a few little tip outs here. It seems like it's huge already. Okay, so that is too long for that way, so I need to do it that way. All right. All right. So I am not going to measure it. I am just going to put it together into a signature, and then I'm just going to mess around. I have another book to show you that I wanted to mess around with too. And I do have to say that this is helping. I've not gotten so much accomplished as I have. Uh-oh, better use my thimble. I'll end up with a hole in my finger if I don't. I have not managed to get a whole lot accomplished in the past couple of weeks. Oh, I got ready to say, I'll be here for a couple of hours, a few hours. Yesterday I was here for 5 hours. Didn't get anything done. Thought about continuing the organization of this room, which really needs to get done, but it didn't happen because I just kept moving things from place to place and nothing was getting organized. I couldn't think of where I needed to have stuff. It wasn't working at all. So I kind of gave up. I have been, and this isn't the reason that I'm not doing anything. I have been catching up on Game of Thrones. I had not been watching it at all. Came across some episodes last year and thought, maybe that would be something I should be watching. And so a couple months ago, I guess, started watching from the beginning so I would understand all the stuff going on. So that's where my brain is. It's not creative. It just wants to watch movies. I haven't been able to do anything while I'm sitting there, and that's odd for me too. So, all right. So here's my little junk journal style book. It's all nice and plain except for the book pages. And I like the looks of text in my background, so that's not going to bother me so much. So that is the signature. I think this is going to be a cute little size to work in. I'm just going to do some random journaling, some random collage, some visual journaling, and that kind of thing with it. And that's what I've got all this stuff up here for. So I did start doing one of these, about a year ago. I started this. And the pages of this were made from a paper bag. Just a single paper bag. I cut the bag into strips, sewed them into signatures, and then started randomly I've got a hair, sorry. Started randomly gluing bits, stamping, adding paint, just all kinds of stuff, non-thinking, very abstract stuff. I don't keep track of my books. I've got them all over the place. I need to organize them. There are some that I know exactly where they are because I've been working on them, but I don't know where all of them are. I have shelves that I put things onto, so that's what I'm kind of hoping to get them done. So this is what I had been doing. Now, it's all really random stuff, non-thinking, and I have kind of been working on this a little bit. Because it's a non-thinking thing, I was hoping that it would jar me back into stuff. What really sparked making this book is I came across this piece of cardboard and I don't plan each book. Each book is just spontaneous. It is what it is. I don't plan my books. I don't plan anything. So I really liked it. So I made a cover from this. And it ended up for the size of book, the spine is pretty large. It's pretty large. What I really liked about it when I bent the cardboard to make the spine, it cracked here. For some reason, it's just really, I can't get rid of this now. So with this in mind, I had done these signatures thinking I would fill them up and make them really juicy and fat, which I pretty much have done, and I would put them into this cover. Well, most of these pages, all of these pages just about have quite a bit of stuff on them, and putting them all together, they still don't fill this book. It is pretty empty. It needs a different cover. So, so that did not work out really well. I will probably do something. I'm thinking I'm going to put in book pages with this one. I can't get rid of this cover. I really like it. I am going to use it with something, but I'll have to make a different cover for this because I don't want to make more signatures. I may have to make more signatures. But I've been having fun with this, and it has helped a little bit for me just to sit down and do this. So here are a bunch of little bits and pieces that I've been gluing into that. And that's the kind of thing that I would like to do with this one. So I got out my leftovers from my tiny sketchbook, my regular sketchbook project. Here's my fussy cut images. And here's a couple of, this is a signature that needs to be finished too. I'm coming across a lot of stuff as I'm trying to organize. Spring cleaning. I really do think it is time to organize everything so I do know where everything is. Finish up a few things. These, I'm going to put these together in a book. They're kind of different styles. These I did over a year ago. These are random collage, and they're not finished. You still need a little bit of something on some of the pages. Almost there. Almost there. This one is just the scrapbook paper. These signatures were made from different size scrapbook paper. That one is just the scrapbook paper, and this one, I think this one is done. It's got a lot of words in it. This signature I made from a kit that I put together, showing how I used all the little bits of the kit. And so this signature is finished. And then here's another signature, a couple of signatures in here. It's just craziness, craziness. Here's another junk journal style with a bunch of pages in it. This one has like 35 pieces of paper in this signature. It's a single signature, and I'm still putting stuff in. It just didn't inspire me, and that one is a messy, messy, messy one. But anyway, I mostly pulled out this stuff so that I had some of these little bits here, and I've got quite a few little bits in this one to use. I have my fish bits basket, again with a bunch of little leftover bits, some book pages, and that's cool. That is cool. Just some painted papers and such so that I can have different things to collage with. So I'm going to put that to the side because I'm going to use that a little bit today in here. And then I have my basket. If you are on Patreon, you'll notice that this is my basket for random little bits that I make my little square collages. I did post, I think I posted a few of my collages on Instagram a couple days ago. I like to do little 4-inch square collages, and this is the basket that I randomly pull out little bits so that I don't look, and I just pull out things randomly. So there's quite a few little bits in here that would be fun to use. Lots of painted papers in here, I noticed. A lot of painted papers. So I've got that too. Let me pull this out so I have it. That to the side. Put the thread up so I can find it later. Put that here. And get my gluing magazine and just start to randomly glue things. That's where my brain is. I don't want to plan anything. I just want to chat with you guys and just do something. And I am determined to spend the entire time, get my glue stick out. That was not the one I was using. Oh, here's the one I was using. There we go. So something mindless, something that I don't have to think about too much. I don't have very many images. Not very many images. Hello, Paper Drake. So, now that I'm done explaining everything, now is time for just randomly, and this is junk journaling. Random junk journal time. Don't have to have a plan. Just glue stuff in. Make some random collages. Have some fun. Stop thinking. Which has been really hard for me here lately. And I don't know why. It was the deadlines that just really got me. Really did. It got me. The two whammies at one time, the taxes and that project that I wasn't extremely pleased with, but didn't have time to mess around with. I wish I'd been able to do a little bit more with it. I like this black and white thing. It's a piece of scrapbook paper. It's circles. It is circles. I can't help myself. When it comes to circles. I have not found out about the extreme, no. I've not been online. I have been doing other things. I'm not a green thumb. I am not a person that does a lot of gardening. I try to stay away from that as much as possible. I really do. But I found a basil plant. And I thought, fresh basil in my spaghetti sauce sounded yummy. It sounded really good. I do have my washcloth for my gluey fingers. I already have gluey fingers. So I bought this little basil plant for $3. And it has more than doubled in size since I've had it. And that's saying a lot because I usually, don't do well when it comes to plants. But it smells so good, and I did make spaghetti sauce and just absolutely loved it in there. And so I didn't see any thyme. I was looking for oregano, and they didn't have any. I went back after this plant started thriving and started doubling in size. I thought, well, maybe I won't kill it after all. I also bought at not 4th of July, Shamrock time, St. Patty's Day. I bought a shamrock. Now this thing has more than doubled too. I really didn't expect to keep it alive that long. This is going to go over the crease. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to try it. That's why I keep looking at it. Do I really want it to go over the crease? I have a hard time keeping things glued to the crease. So let me add a lot of glue. Let me burnish it down really, really well. And Rosemary says if you let it dry flat, it won't come up. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let it dry open like that and continue to add more stuff. And I will let it dry and then close it later. So I don't usually time. I don't know if they had a time. They had the rosemary, so I haven't had plants in years. I don't spend a whole lot of time with plants. I forget to water them. It usually just does not work out for me. Uh, Usually really doesn't work out at all for me. So I was very surprised when these haven't died. I haven't killed them yet. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. I went back and I bought a rosemary. It is still, it's, I don't know how well it's going to do, but I have a rosemary and I'm thinking, and I bought potting soil and some pots at the Dollar Tree because I needed this basil. It exploded. It wants, Aunt Sandra said it wants a bigger pot. It's unhappy. Make it a bigger pot. So I've been planting. I want to make this rosemary bush just a little bit bigger, and I'm thinking that I will plant it outside and see what happens. Do animals like to eat rosemary? Would it be safe outdoors in Florida? Does anybody know? I was going to put the basil outside. I don't really have a place to plant it that would be in the sun. I've got a little, what do you call it? A little strip of place where I can plant a flower garden thing right by the carport. But the carport, it casts a shadow on the spot for most of the day, so it wouldn't be in the sun very much. I'm afraid that the rosemary or the basil would become unhappy if I put it outside. Everything seems to stay away from rosemary because of the scent. I love the smell of rosemary. So does Linda. Rosemary was outside in Portland there. Extreme cold killed it. So, so I can put I was thinking actually to put maybe part of this basil plant outside and see how it does. Since it's gotten so big, I think I can separate half of it out and not lose the entire thing. I don't have very many focal points here, people. I am missing focal points, which is all right. It is all right. I don't need focal points. I could do some stamping. I could. It's another tip out. So that's what I was thinking. Hi, Marielle. Oh, your rosemary died with extreme cold. Where are you, Linda? After 10 years, you had it for 10 years? I didn't fold it. It's still unfolded. Hi, Barbara. Barbara lives in a cool climate, and her rosemary grew huge in the shade. Planting it in hot Florida, open shade or part shade would probably be great. For the rosemary or for the basil? Upstate South Carolina. All right. Bye, Debbie. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to put that right there. Was it this last winter that it got killed? It was a really cold winter. All over the place. All right, so I got glue all over the front of that. This is too wet, but it needs something, so I'm just gonna douse it with wetness. Basil gets too hot, it bolts. What does that mean? What does that mean? So that's what I'm thinking. So I am not a huge gardener, and I haven't done it in years. When I lived in England, I did have an herb garden. I had everything. I had like 5 different types of thyme and loved it. I had it all around the backyard. I had stuff all over the place. Mints. I like mints. I love the smell of mint. But for some reason, I couldn't get it to grow very well. I think the rabbits were eating it, or something was eating it. Not sure what, but something I think was eating it. Oh, here are my little circles. You know what? Instead of gluing, you know what I am going to do? I am just going to find my Stabilo and find my China marker and it's a cute little piece of painted paper. Oh, I know, Kathleen. I love mint. When I was in Oregon, I loved to go by the spearmint fields. They grow spearmint and peppermint, I believe. I know spearmint. They grow spearmint for the gum factories. And just driving through the fields, man. So cool. And it smells so good. Can get a little overwhelming. As all you can smell is mint. Really, really neat. Loved that. I think that's where I really discovered that I enjoyed mint. All right, so that is the China marker. The China marker it's like a grease pencil. It is not water soluble. It's kind of like a crayon. So those little circles are going to stay just the way they are. And this is a Stabilo All pencil, which means it writes on paper, glass, plastic, and metal. It is water soluble, which means I can draw circles with it. And I'm pressing too hard and need to sharpen my pencil already, people. Hi, Elaine. So instead of doing glue, I have been puttering around in dirt, which is very unusual for me. It is extremely, extremely unusual for me to putter in dirt. I have lost my mind. All right, so that is Stabilo All. And you know what? I might just make some pen marks on here too. Sharpen that up for the next time. I have, where is it? This pen has my little yellow rubber band on the end, which means it is one of those that will bleed if water is added. So I am going to add some circles with it. And you know, circles, making circles is a bit of a therapy. I've got, my hand is going into all this and making it muddy. So this is circle therapy for me today. Having kitty cat problems too. My mean little bad kitty is being bad, making me angry. Just don't know what to do with her. Can't take her to the vet because she's ornery and she scratches everybody and won't come out of the thing. All right. All right, I've got quite a bit of circles now. All right. And so, not that I want to get my whole thing all wet, but I am going to spritz it with water. Hello, Julie. Spritzing. Oh, look at that. I don't want to get it completely and totally wet. I'll have to make another signature to work in. Oh. So I love the way those two, the Stabilo All and that pen, I like the way they move. I want to leave this open so it can dry. And this is why I work in more than one signature at a time. Where are we here? We have almost an hour. So I need to have something working here. Let me put this to the side so my workspace is free. I'm just going to let that dry because I like it. I like it. Let me put it to the side and let me grab out some more, and I'm just going to make another signature real fast. I'll make another signature so I can continue to work, and this time I won't get it all wet. All right, I used 7 pieces of paper last time. So that's 1. Should go faster this time. Those are those heavy ones. Get the trimmer out too so I can trim them up as I go. So I know that they're not too wide. I've got a wet spot right there. Down just a tad. Two. Three. 4. 5. 6 and 7. All right. Those pieces, I don't remember where I put those. Throw these little bits away. Put that away. Back to the side. And arrange the pages. And not to get them extremely wet this time. I don't know what I was thinking. Just kind of got away from me right there. I couldn't help myself. One of those things. That's probably a long enough thread to use so I don't have to rethread. It's all about not planning. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hi, Kathy. So thanks everyone for spending some time with me, helping me to get my creative spark back. It's gone on vacation. I think I needed just a little break. I think that's exactly what I needed, was just a little break. All right. And thank you for all your thumbs up. So now I've got another little signature. This time I will just try to do glue. Glue some background bits on. I've got some little bits of painted paper over here. And other things that I should be using. And I even pulled out these pages that I did. When did I do these, guys? I did these quite a while ago. I did front and back. I was going to make a book out of the sheet and didn't do that. So that's kind of on my radar to do as well. Just to cut them up into sheets. I was going to make my tiny sketchbook with this piece of paper. And some of that paper started to yellow, and I didn't really want to use it in a book that I was sending to someplace else. So I decided not to use it. So now I have it, and I need to use it in something. I don't need to, but I want to. I'm going to eventually. Use it in something. That was that new little toy that I recently got. All right. So just ripping some bits off. I think this needs some more stuff on it, so I'm not going to rip that all up yet. Hi, Care. Hello, Angelica. Hello, hello, Mexico City. Okay, here's my glue. So let me just start gluing. just start gluing. And here's another one where I want it to dry. I'm going to glue over the fold. So I want to use lots of glue, burnish it down really well, and let it dry flat. And see what happens. A little bit of an experiment going on. So nice to see you. I love seeing new people. I don't know if I want to put the triangles with the small little circles. But I can find something else to put in here. Some security envelope pattern. So I don't really plan on getting a whole lot done today, but thanks for being here and helping me and making myself do something and just it is fun just to stream with absolutely no reason. You know what I mean? It's there's a bunch of cool little bits down here. There's a butterfly. A punched out butterfly. You see it? Bunched out butterfly. There's a bunch of little bits and pieces in here. There's an eye. Don't want to lose that. Is it blurry? It shouldn't be blurry. Shouldn't be. I've got green here, so some more green would be fabulous. Could do some rubber stamping. I like that green. This is just one of those non-thinking, just glue stuff down, just doodle, just see what happens without worrying about doing something on purpose. On the edge corner. I think I was making a little fish bit book out of this one here. Some dress pattern. That's pretty cool. It's a little fragile. I can't rub it too hard. Turn my page because I've got too much glue right there. It gets blurry when I move, then refocus takes a bit to clear up. does look a little blurry, but it's not. Hello, you're Lynn? Hello. Kind of looking for beige. That's a cute little bike. I see all this together. I like these pieces all together. Something about all those pieces. So let me find a page. Start putting those pieces down. Just make a great big background just using this stuff. It's funny when you pull things out and just kind of let it be where it is and you move things around. It's funny how you can see how things would look nice together where you wouldn't have seen it if they were in a basket or something. They just kind of move towards each other so that you can see that they want to be together. So I do apologize for not getting to my comments and such. Okay, I was going to put that on this side. I will be doing that the next few days. I really have been distracted with these plants, which is odd. I don't let myself get distracted with plants very much. Oh well, it's funny what we allow ourselves to get distracted with. I just really like that. The plants. I am not a plant person. But that basil smells so good. All right. It's going to be in the ditch, so let me make sure it's nice and burnished down, and then I'm going to put a little bit of this here. I need a little focal point for this one. I feel the need for a focal point. Oh, I forgot to tell you about my ants. As I see one right here. On Tuesday, I had my water here. As I was doing watercolor, so I had a bit of water here. And Tuesday after my stream, I cleaned up my water. left it in the bathroom. I have a little cup that I keep my glue brush in and such. So I rinsed it out and didn't come back into the room, so I just kind of left it on the counter there in the bathroom. So there wasn't any water or anything in here. That's the only water that I keep in here really is, oh, see, I like that. I like that. Is that I want to find a little something. I like this little frog, but he needs to be looking at something. Maybe I can find something else. Let's see what I've got. And so it didn't come back into the room. My cup of water stayed in the bathroom, which is next door, not too far. The next day when I sat down to do some stuff, I noticed that there was not an ant to be found. Nowhere. No ants. And I'd had such a problem with them on Tuesday. I thought about it. The only thing that was different is the fact that my cup of water for my brush was not in the room. It's the only difference. Ooh, that's kind of a cool little bit too. So I kept the cup of water out of my room all week long. I found 2 ants on the table today as I was getting ready to do stuff. Only 2 ants. I do believe they are after that cup of water, which is odd. But I think that's what they're after. I can't find a focal point for this. I don't think there's focal points in here. So I am getting ready to not keep my thing of water. Ooh, a little butterfly would be cool on this. Let me rip it out without glue on my fingers. You lurk away, Miss Care. Glad to hear that someone's working along with me. Collage is supposed to be relaxing and not stressful and fun. That's the way it's supposed to do. You're supposed to do it. That's when fun things happen. When you don't plan them out, I still have some glue on my finger. I still have glue on my finger. Hi, Jersey. Bye, Becky. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you all for your thumbs up. Do I like that on there? Do I? I don't know. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. What do I want on here? It's not that. Actually, let me tear the edges so they're not quite so straight. Like that. Do I like that? Kind of. I don't know, though. Kind of, but not enough to say yes. Why can't I find any focal points? You know what? My little basket of focal points is way over there on the shelf. Maybe I can find something. Maybe that's what I need. He kind of gets lost in there, though. He kind of gets lost. And maybe I just don't need anything right now. Something will appear. Maybe I need just a stamped image, like a tree. Got a little bit of white on the bottom there. I want to hide. Right there. I can't turn the page until I put something on there. That's really strange for me. Very strange. I don't like the butterfly. I don't like the butterfly. I just tried the butterfly. Don't like the butterfly. What do I need? Something, I want a tree. I think I want the tree. I don't want something that has a lot of detail on it. I'm thinking that. And use that stamp pad. Both, Vicky. Both. I need both. And I kind of want to put it right there. Didn't even try it ahead of time. It is going to be what it is. Too late to think about it. And this is one of those kind of projects. You know, it's not going to turn out perfectly, and that's perfectly fine. I wish I had put it over just a little bit more, but I kind of like it. Oh. I like this tree stamp too. I got this tree stamp at Hobby Lobby. When they had all their stamps, they have reduced the amount of stamps that they keep now. Don't know why. I'm looking for a piece of scrap paper to get the ink off. I don't know if they carry that anymore. I really like it. I also have the stencil, the little metal stencil that is that same tree. I think it may be a little bit larger. Um, so I like that. I think I'm going to leave that just as it is. And so that is a finished page as far as I'm concerned. I really like it. I've got things hanging off the edges here, which is fine. I don't mind that at all for this kind of a junk journal. It kind of adds some character to it. And these are the things I just happened to see all together. They are kind of busy, but I like the looks of them together. I love it. All right. So going back to my other page here, and that's really cool too. I like that a lot. So let me just glue that down. I like the color. I really like the color. Let me finish up this page a little bit. I like the non-straight edges. I like the torn edges on something like this. Looks a little more junky, a little bit more natural, a little bit more like what I want. And I glued it upside down. I hadn't intended on doing that, but that's how it ended up. Gonna put a little bit of, oh, look at this owl. Oh, don't like all the words around it, but I like the owl. I like it. I'm going to tear the edges again. This is what I call fussy tearing. Giving something just a little bit of shape and taking away those little bits that you really don't want. It might be too dark. The background is pretty dark for this poor little owl. And it doesn't really show up. You might have to go on a smaller book. If it was on a smaller, oh, it might be good all right there. If it was on a smaller book, it wouldn't get so lost with that dark. Well, that's a cool little picture too. Hey, Gina. Hello, Julia. So nice to see everyone. This seems like it's too big. I like the picture though. It's just too big. Do I have some images over here? Here's a stamped image that I cut out, and he looks really cool there. What's your name, Jersey? We will try to we'll try to remember the name that you would rather be called. Oh, that fits perfectly in that spot. I suppose that is serendipity that it needs to be there. It needs to be there. I like this little elephant here. And I need something right there. And that fits the spot perfectly too. Can't argue with perfection here. Can't argue at all. When it fits perfectly in a space, that means you need to glue it down. Uh-oh. Need to glue it down. I like the little elephant, but I think it needs a larger focal point. So I'm thinking, and I had another little bit of this, somewhere. Too much white on this poor little butterfly. What happened to that other bit of this scrapbook paper? It was here. And the paper punch butterfly might fit on that. I know it was here. Or a sticker. Here it is. Here it is. I'm going to just glue that down. There's a little white space right there that I would like to cover up. And that covers it. Mostly. Kind of like this elephant on that line right there. Then I got to find something that will go in that little white space. And I don't have to find something right at this particular moment. I'm looking around and nothing is jumping out at me. I haven't been in this basket in a very long time. There is all kinds of stuff in here. All kinds. That's one of my printouts. I do like that elephant. I am going to go ahead and just stick him down. I'm going to put him, well, I probably should put him over that white spot because that's going to bother me. And that's where he was at first. Okay, go ahead, Miss Care. Go lurk away and glue to your heart's content. Gluing is good. Gluing is very good. So that's a couple of pages kind of done. I'm not sure I really love these straight edges right here. I'm going to have to find a little something to cover that up. And I'm not sure what that something will be. Nothing is coming out of the woodwork here. Oh well. Turning to a different page. How much time do we have? Hi, Joey. Don't have much time. Just a little time for a little bit more glue. Turn my page. There's a lot of glue on that. So I didn't get a whole lot done, but I did do quite a bit of relaxing. And I got more done than I have in a couple of weeks, so I guess it's a good thing. I'm getting there. I kind of want this butterfly on here. I think this is calling out to be a black and white page. It wants to be a black and white page. Please let me be a black and white page, it says. I can hear it. I can hear it. Hi, all about art. Lynn, Jersey is Lynn. All right. Let's see if we can remember that. Do you want to be Lynn or Jersey? Got glue on this and need to glue it down before it dried. It needs more glue. Sorry, got to looking at stuff. Distraction. I was distracted. Distracted. Just fine. You're Lynn. Oh, Carolyn. Jersey is Laura. Jersey is Laura. See, I can't even learn it right the first time. Jersey is Laura. Of course, I will have to be reminded because my brain is on vacation. I'm going to put that little bit right there because it is way too small and it's going to get lost if I try to put it someplace. So I might as well stick it down. Stick it down. All right, I need some more little bits here, and I think I'm going to put this butterfly over here. Black and white, black and white, black and white. What else do I have that is black and white? This was my first little tiny sketchbook, and it is, I've been tearing it apart. It just didn't do it for me. Was not happy with it. So I ripped it apart, or tried to rip it apart. Obviously, I'm not doing very well because there's still a bunch of stuff there. Still really thick. And it's so thick, it has 2 or 3 layers on there. And I used my Elmer's Extreme, so it is well glued down and doesn't want to come off. I will be doing the glue test soon. Not sure exactly when I'm going to get it done, but I will be doing it soon. I want to glue that over the ditch, but it's way too thick. It's never going to stay glued down. But I do like the pattern, so I would really like to use it. Sorry, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. It is not working. Black and white. What else do I have? I have a little bit of I think I've got a little bit of puzzle page, or that's blue. Don't like that. I'm looking for black and white. Puzzle page or scrapbook, not scrapbook paper. Here's a nice little security envelope pattern. So thank you all for your thumbs up, for spending time with me. And I've got glue on my fingers. I will be seeing a few of you on Saturday with the get-together. At the get-together. That's going to be perfect. Let me put that down. Thank you all for watching the recording and all your thumbs up. I appreciate it greatly. I need something right there. Maybe a little bit of music paper. A little bit. Just to cover that spot up. And don't necessarily like all this white. This napkin is just a little too thick. And tearing it didn't work extremely well. So let me kind of cut some of that off. Like that. It's a little better. And I'm actually going to put glue on the page because I feel like I'm going to tear up this poor little butterfly if I try to put glue on it. It is on napkin, so it's pretty fragile. Got glue everywhere. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. So we got 3 pages done today. Hey, Patricia. Carolyn. Rosemary. Sorry, I'm not focused again, am I? I'm just getting ready to say goodbye. I've been on for 2 hours and got quite a bit of stuff in my little mini junk journal. I've got quite a bit of stuff, pages done. So here's my black and white one. This, of course, is not going to be sticking out like that. So disregard that. Black and white page. It might need some more stuff. Well, hello. Feel better, Elaine. And this one might need a little bit more stuff too, but I really like the way that that is turning out. What was your old name, Laura? And I really do like the tree. Something weird about that spot right there. I might have to put a bird over that because it looks a little odd now that I'm looking at it for the second time. And then this other signature that's pretty dry now. I got some circles. I've got circles. And just some random bits. I didn't finish any pages over here. I just was gluing randomly. So I guess we'll see what happens with this little junk journal style book. I'm going to let that dry further. It's just a little damp, but it's almost dry. It is almost dry. I'm going to put some stuff on top of that. So thank you all. Sorry. Yes, there will be. Oh, Laura. Yeah, that is confusing to me. I will try to remember that. Laura. All right. Laura. Thanks so much, guys, for spending time and getting me to get something done. And hopefully I can get over this little creative dry spell I'm having. Go back to my plants. Thank you all for your thumbs up, spending time with me, making me laugh. It was fun. It was fun. I will see you next week. I am not streaming on Sundays until further notice. So, thanks everyone. Hi, Michelle. Bye, Michelle. Thanks everyone. Thank you so much. I will see you next week. Bye.